All right, hey, what do you guys call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. There you go. All right, start the lesson.
Okay, we're gonna do how a bill becomes a law, and we're gonna do not the Saturday Night Live version, but the School of Rock.
You're too young for it.
This is 8th grade, by the way.
8th grade?
Mhm.
Just yes or no?
Okay,
It's
so,
right. Right there. Oh,
You
shit.
know, I should have pointed better.
There goes my one.
oh, does it not sound?
U.S. history.
You sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a
Feel free to
long journey to the capital city. It's a long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will, but today I'm still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." And he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill. And I'll remain a bill until they decide to be a law. Just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here as Capitol Hill. Well, now, stuck in committee, and I sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will, but today I'm still just a bill.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but it looks like I'm going to live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I waited online with a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be allowed, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time it's over.
By that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but now I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill. Besides you, Bill, now you're a law. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what we have up here is the essential question, and then there's one question here that we will have you answer after class. And think about the essential question while we're going over this. Okay, so that video just basically went over how a bill becomes a law. And so we're going to go basically a little bit more depth on how it becomes a law. Alright, so what is a bill? A bill is a proposed law. Does anyone know who can propose a bill?
Anyone. I would say anyone.
Yeah. Okay, so then once the bill is proposed to someone's legislator, it then goes to step one. It's introduced into the Senate or House of Representatives and then sent to a committee. Does anyone know what a committee is? A committee basically is a group of professionals on the bill, and they go discuss it and write it up and have the guidelines. And, then once they get done with that, then they send it back out to the House of Representatives or the Senate. And so once it gets sent back to the Senate or the House, they debate on it, and then they vote on whatever version they like.
Senate approved the final version of the bill, and it doesn't matter where a bill originates unless it's a financial bill, then it has to originate in the House. So if they vote yes, then the bill is sent to the president to sign, or he can veto. There's different kinds of vetoes. There's a pocket veto, and that's where basically he doesn't sign it. If Congress is in session, then the bill becomes a law. Or no, if Congress is in session and he uses his pocket veto, then it goes back. It does become law. If Congress is out of session and he signs and doesn't sign it using a pocket veto, then the bill becomes a law. So a couple different kind of vetoes there. The other veto is just standard veto, where he just says no, we're not going to use it. And then it goes back to the Congress, and they can change it, or they vote on it again. And if they can get 66% or 2/3, then the president veto is overridden. There's also something called a line item veto, but that was passed in 1995 or 96, and the Supreme Court struck that down because it said it interfered with the separation of powers between the three branches of government. A line item veto is basically where the president has the bill in front of him. He says, I like this part, I don't like this part, and literally crosses out before he signs it. But that's not a constitutional thing according to the Supreme Court. So we don't have that in this country, at least at the federal level. Some states may have that ability. And now we're going to go ahead and move on to activity.
Alright, so we're going to work on trying to pass a bill and make it a law, alright? So, our president is... Oh, gosh. Alright, so, what I want is this half over here is going to be the House. This is going to be the Senate. Okay? We're going to start the bill over here. So if y'all go, everybody who's on this side, the Senate, over here, read this bill. You can change it, then vote on it. Once you have 50% votes, you pass it, and then go to the House.
Oh,
You can change it, obviously.
yeah, I think we can vote on this right now. What if we do all We could vote on this right now. Yeah. No matter what, we could just.
Why is it tied?
Let's add video.
If it's tied, if it's tied.
So wait, what are we?
So you guys are basically the committee, since you're putting the guidelines in one thing.
Yeah, we should vote.
Alright.
But what happens before?
Raise your hands if you want it.
Yeah, we should probably add it. Yeah. Okay.
Alright, cool. That's it. Alright. Let everybody get this. You vote on it, you make some changes to it, and send it back.
Filibuster.
I'm fine with that. So, you have to have majority vote, or you guys can add to it and change it if you want to.
I'm fine.
I'm good with all girls getting A's. All girls get an A in the class. All guys will at least pass. Fred gets an A.
I say we should.
Minus.
Fred
Gets an A minus.
I'm an A and B kind of guy.
Yeah.
Fred needs to get it.
How about a B.5?
That's true.
Give him a scholarship still.
No, I didn't put that on there.
Okay, what is Fred going to give us to benefit us?
That's a great question.
Fred bring donuts.
What is Fred going to benefit from?
Oh, Fred gets an A.
If he brings donuts. If he brings donuts. There we go.
Enough for everyone.
Enough for everyone to get 2 donuts.
Alright.
Well, let's go with 2.5 donuts. We can share.
I want it all. For the sake of time, let's go on this really quick, right?
All in favor, say aye.
Just raise your hand. That's a round. All right.
Majority vote.
All right. Distraction back to Austin.
All girls will get an A in class, not an A plus. And guys will at least pass. Fred gets an A if he brings donuts for everyone.
Absolutely.
I got my own sign and pen. I need a pipe. All girls get an A in class, and guys will at least pass. Fred gets an A if he brings donuts for everyone on December 12th.
December 11th.
Well, okay. That is a law.
That's a time you are in prison, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You don't need a pass. Female frogs.
All right, hey guys, there's a couple of interesting things that could happen here. Let's say the Senate with 50 people, they tie 50-50. Does anybody know the process to alleviate that? Your hand just went up. What's she saying? You scratching your head?
Yep.
Oh man, just put you on the spot. All right, the vice president is the president of the Senate, and in case of the tie, then he comes in there and puts the passing vote, whatever he says. So that's a little interesting tidbit for you. Also, we were talking over here about prestige. A lot of people consider the Senate to be a more prestigious office than the House, and it's kind of a numbers thing. You'd rather be 1 out of 100 than 1 out of 438, and or 435. And there is some truth to that, but there's also too. I was telling them back when the Constitution was originally made, the Senate was not a voted on thing by the general public. It was an appointed system, either from the governors in each state or the state legislators. So they changed that, and then it became a popular vote thing. So that's a little piece of information there for you. So let's go ahead and answer the question here. What fraction is required to override a veto? Yes, Miss Leslie. Let's get them hands up. Keep some organization.
2/3.
2/3. That's right. Okay. Sorry. Here's another thing. I saw this guy over here. He was yelling veto, veto. That's another. What percentage can override a veto? Or I mean, a veto. Filibuster. What percentage does it take to override a filibuster? In the Senate, to keep the math easy.
Didn't they recently change it?
It's 60. It takes 60 votes in the Senate to override a filibuster. That's called cloture. So that's why having 50 seats in the House or 51, you have the majority and you can pass some laws. But hey, back group, what are you guys doing? You guys paying attention? How many votes does it take to override a filibuster? Negative. You ain't paying attention. It's 60. Okay, so yeah. That's just another little fact for you there, 60 votes. That's why it's important if you have a favorite political party for them to have 60 votes as compared to 51. Yes, Ms. Kerr.
I have a question. So when everyone was voting, they were voting with their personal interests. Are they representative of the population that they are going to either House of Congress or to represent? And if so, what is percentage of the population is male versus female? And wouldn't their male constituents be very disappointed that?
Yes, they would, but there's also two ways to look at it. The House of Representatives is supposed to represent you as an individual. The Senate represents the state that they're from more than the individuals within their Senate district. So the Senate is supposed to look at state interests, where the House of Representatives is supposed to look at their constituencies' interests. So you can't make everybody happy all the time. And there's some interesting little statistics about like if you can get past your first re-election in the House of Representatives, your what is it, revisitism rate, like they use it for jail, but whatever, is like 96%. If you can get past your first re-election, then your chances of being re-elected again after that, as long as you want, are almost 100%. So keep that in mind when you vote. Don't just follow. Well, this guy, he didn't piss me off, so I'll vote for him again. Vote for somebody you like. Run yourself. I always write myself in for whatever, you vote, and they got those little blank. I was this close to being the Lyon County Township road dude or something. I lost to Mickey Mouse. A lot of people write Mickey Mouse in. But anyway, are there any questions about what we went over? All you guys are going to remember is Mickey Mouse and Lyon County Township. Yes, Joey?
I'm gonna start running you in for everything too.
Do it. I don't live in your district, maybe though. Who is this? It's Fred Smith's a pretty generic name. So, do we have any questions or concerns about what we talked about today? No.
So you will be bringing in donuts, right?
Oh, it is for me. My term ends here in about 2 seconds. I'm gonna hit the book tour, make like $300 grand a speech. So you gotta start passing pot around this month.